Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Bette McCarthy. I'm chair of the Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Commission. This meeting of the Old Kings Highway Historic District is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel. In accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws of Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, will you please make your presence known? I guess we haven't heard anything. All right. Well, I'll continue with my introduction. To all persons interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act under Section 9 of Chapter 470, Acts of 1973 as amended, you are hereby notified that there will be a hearing tonight on the application listed on the agenda for August 23rd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. We'd like to remind all applicants and audience members that we're an elected volunteer committee, and we follow the guidelines of the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. Any applicant or interested party who is aggrieved by any decision of this committee, they have a right to appeal the decision to the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic District Commission. We ask that during this evening's proceedings, cell phones be turned off, conversations other than those before the committee take place outside of this remote meeting. When an applicant is called, we ask that the applicant and all interested parties identify themselves. And lastly, as best practices for meetings held where we may not be able to visually identify who's speaking, we ask all committee members and participants to identify themselves before making any motions or comments. Online audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing can use the raised hand button to notify the chair. Dial-in audience members wishing to participate during this public comment section of the hearing should press *9 on their phones to notify the chair. All participants will be muted and must be recognized by the chair in order to participate. So our first order of business is to take roll call attendance. George Jessup. As George is not on tonight. Wendy Schuck.
Present.
Ryan Caholen.
Here.
Leslie Wallace.
Here.
And Bette McCarthy. That's great. We have a quorum. So now we're going to introduce the first item on our agenda, and that is an application for the Cape Cod Community College, 2240 I&O Road, West Barnstable, map 236, parcel 005-W00, and built in 1968. To replace the main entrance sign originally installed in 1968, the original brick base will remain in place, but there will be a new limestone cap, and the materials are available for our viewing. And is the applicant available to discuss this item?
Yes, good evening. My name is Joe McKinnon. I'm the Director of Facilities and Sustainability for Cape Cod Community College, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Right. And I'm Christopher Clark, the VP for Finance and Operations, Cape Cod Community College. But Joe's going to lead the presentation on behalf of the college.
Okay. All right.
Bette, you want me to open the...
All right.
Hearing? Yeah.
So now we have to open a public hearing. So may we have a motion to do that?
Sure. This is Wendy Schuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Wendy Schuck?
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. All right, would the applicant wish to discuss the project?
Yeah, sure. I'll just give a brief description. I think the drawing is pretty self-explanatory, but as you can see from the picture on the right-hand side of the top of the drawing sheet, we've got a 55-year-old original sign for the college that's tired and a little bit outdated, and we'd like to bring it up to our current college branding standards and just make it look a little nicer and cleaner. Put a limestone cap on top of that brick mounting surface, and install a sign that's just slightly not as long as the original one, just by a few inches on either end. And then inside that extruded aluminum cabinet with the blue background, and the blue coloring is the college's standard blue color for the campus. And the font is the college standard Gothic bold font that we use on most of our communication throughout the college and the campus and most of our marketing materials. And the cabinet would be illuminated with LED lighting from within and operated from a photo cell to automatically turn on only when it's dark out.
Okay. Do the committee have any remarks on that? Leslie Wallace, would you like to comment?
I think it looks good. The lighting is different, interesting, and it's all right by me.
Okay. Wendy Schuck?
Yeah, it's amazing the old sign lasted as long as it did, right? That's over 50 years. It makes me feel old. I guess my only question is, so the current sign is not lit from within, is that right?
I think it was originally, but that equipment failed several years ago. So there was a small light put that just from the ground just illuminates the sign, the existing one.
Yeah.
But this will be it'll be nicer because it doesn't light up what doesn't need to be lit. It'll just be the letters that are illuminated, so you can really see the sign itself.
Right. And I imagine the lighting won't be like overly bright and just enough to illuminate the letters.
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for me. I think it looks very nice and I think it's appropriate.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ryan, would you like to discuss this?
I echo some of the sentiments. I'm not really a fan of internally lit signs. I think it looks too commercial. But with that being said, in light of the mission of the college and what we're trying to accomplish, I don't take any exception.
Okay.
I think it's great to see the branding upgraded. I remember when the sign was illuminated internally. It was probably fluorescent bulbs and starters and ballasts that are long since not available.
And it's interesting too. I'll add that, my concern about these specialty equipment, if you will, failing, and then not being able to replace it. We're addressing that with, we're actually going to order spare parts and materials to have on hand. So this will not have to, we won't have to do anything creative with exterior lighting in the future, and we'll be able to keep it illuminated nicely for years to come.
Are the individual elements lit, or is there a larger LED?
There's multiple LED.
Okay.
Yeah, within inside the sign, and part of the reason for the LED, of course, is also for energy conservation.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Okay. Well, with the college having so many events in the evening and classes, and I think it's a good sign that the sign is illuminated. I think it really makes a lot of sense. And I had a question about the color, and I see that it happens to be the college traditional color. So I think that's fine. And it's understated. It's certainly not very flashy or anything. I think it's quite appropriate for
It's actually a little bit smaller than the original.
than the original. Yes. Um, so I have no issues with it. Is there anybody in the public? Is there anybody wishing to make comments? Do we know if anybody's online wishing to discuss this?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I do not see anyone at this time raising their hand.
Okay. All right. So in that case, we need to close the public comment part of the hearing.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Ryan Caholen. Ryan.
Aye. Sorry about that. It was stuck on mute.
All right. Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
And Beth McCarthy. So now we need a motion to approve this project.
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the Certificate of Appropriateness application for Cape Cod Community College, 2240 Iano Road, West Barnstable, map 3236, parcel 005/W00, built in 1968, as submitted.
Leslie Wallace, second.
All right, and a roll call vote. Ryan Caholen.
Aye.
Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
Beth McCarthy. Aye. So this project is approved as submitted. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. All right, now we're going to discuss our second application for this evening, and it's for Sonia and Kevin Donahue, and it's for 25 Harbor View Road, Barnstable, map 319, parcel 139, built in 1978. To add a new 3-season room off the back of the house, a new portico in the front, a new roof over the garage, 2 new dormers on the main house, and remodel the interior. And all work is to match the existing. So may we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
I'll second it, Leslie Wallace.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
Ryan Caholen.
Aye.
And Beth McCarthy. Aye. So is the applicant ready to discuss this project? Are the Donahues
Yes.
available?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thomas Moore representing Kevin and Sonia Donahue. They're on the call also. And
okay.
We're looking to do some addition and renovation work to the house at 25 Harbor View Road. Yeah, and as you said, there'd be a new screen porch on the back side of the house. We're going to be changing the look of the garage, and you're trying to pick up some space on the second floor. A new portico at the front, a couple of new dormers on the front of the house also. All the new materials would match the existing materials and design, finish, and material. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. All right. Wendy, would you like to comment on this project?
Sure. I think the design really blends in really well with the existing structure in terms of the materials and the style. And I also think it's very appropriate for the neighborhood. So I don't have any concerns at all.
Okay, good. Leslie, would you like to make a comment?
I feel the same as Wendy. Very nice. I think it all looks appropriate and adds a lot of pizzazz.
All right. Ryan, what are your comments?
Speaking of pizzazz, what's the pitch on the dormers on the roof?
On the front dormers, I
Yes.
think you're probably looking at like a 5 or a 6 pitch.
Okay. And what's the existing roofing material? Asphalt shingle or?
It's asphalt shingles.
All right. And is the whole roof being redone or just the addition of the dormers?
There's probably a lot of it that's going to be done because of the dormers. Certainly everything over the garage and that part of the house is going to be done. The main part of the house, I'm not sure if it's quite ready to be redone yet, but that may happen because of what's going on here.
Yeah, my only concern is, and I think you understand where I'm going, given that area and the sort of openness, I worry about having, two dark blotches on a roof that otherwise, there's going to be some color contrast there.
Yeah, I think we'd want to, certainly do the whole front of the roof to try to match it all so it all looks right.
Yeah, I think that just given the size of the dormers, I mean the dormers themselves are, it's not a typical doghouse. It's a little bit bigger, so I would just give that some thought.
Okay.
But beyond that, I think the other alterations are great.
Okay. Ryan, does that conclude your?
That concludes my comments.
Okay. All right. I was over at the property yesterday. I think the project and what's proposed, I think is totally appropriate for both the neighborhood and the design. I think it's very attractive and it'll blend in very nicely. I don't think it's out of proportion at all. So I don't have any comments other than that. Is there anybody in the neighborhood online wishing to talk about this? Is there anybody in the background?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I don't see anyone wishing to speak to this project.
Okay. All right, then we need a motion to close the public hearing part of the.
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
A roll call vote. Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
Ryan Caholen.
Aye.
Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
And Beth McCarthy. Aye. So now we need a motion to address this application.
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Kevin and Sonia Danahy, 25 Harborview Road, Barnstable, map 319, parcel 139, built in 1978, with the modification to make the roofing on the dormers and the front of the house to match, otherwise as submitted.
This is Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
All right, a roll call vote. Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
Ryan Caholen.
Aye.
Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
And Beth McCarthy. Aye. So this project is approved.
Thank
you
very much.
Okay. Thank you very much too. All right. We do not have any minor modifications this evening. We do not have any extensions. So the next issue is to approve the minutes of September 28th, 2022. Were there any comments or any discussion regarding those minutes?
Nothing from me. I thought they looked good.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nothing from me.
Okay. All right. So could we have a motion to accept the minutes of September 28th, 2022?
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the minutes of the September 28th, 2022 meeting as submitted.
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So the next item is the minutes of August 9th, 2023. Were there any changes or modifications about those minutes?
Not from me. I thought they looked good.
No,
I did not see anything that needed to be corrected. Ryan?
Nothing from me.
Okay, all right. So may we have a motion then to accept the minutes of August 9th, 2023.
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to accept the minutes from the August 9th, 2023 meeting as submitted.
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So I think that concludes our meeting this evening. And our next meetings will be September 13th and the 27th. So now I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to adjourn today's meeting Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023.
Thank you.
Second, Leslie Wallace.
All right. And roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So we have concluded our meeting in record time.